Hey there. Today we're exploring the world of fashion and film with a special focus on the iconic 1987 movie, The Untouchables. But that's not all. We're going to put our own spin on it by incorporating classic cars and paying tribute to the late great designer Giorgio Armani. So let's get started. In The Untouchables, set in the roaring 20s, Chicago is a whirlwind of jazz and gin. The story follows Elliot Ness, played by Kevin Costner, a straight-edge agent taking on Al Capone's bootlegging empire. To nail the look of this bygone era, Ness and his crew rely on the tailored power suits synonymous with the legendary Italian designer. With his keen eye for detail, Armani crafted costumes that perfectly captured the essence of the 1930s. But it's not just the suits. Every thread tells a story. Soft fabrics like silk and wool exude the casual elegance of the time, while velvet smoking jackets speak of late-night smoky jazz clubs. It's like stepping into a vintage time capsule. But what about cars? During Prohibition, the streets echoed with the roar of engines as gangsters zoomed around in their fancy rides. These high-octane escapades are often depicted in vintage films. So let's take a closer look at some of the coolest cars from the Untouchables and beyond. All right, so picture this. Chicago's North Side, 1930. You've got these two characters, Ness and Malone. They're tailing a bootlegger driving a Ford Model A. Now, normally these Fords top out around 60 miles per hour, but here they are tearing down the streets of Chicago, giving chase. Suddenly, the bootlegger makes a sharp turn and crashes into a wall. And wouldn't you know it, the Ford flips over. What's cool about this scene is it mirrors the plot twist in the film. Just like the bootlegger, Capone's empire will eventually flip over and come crashing down. As the film progresses, the stakes rise, and so does the danger. In one intense sequence, Ness and his men corner Capone's gang at a train station. Gunfire erupts, bullets whiz through the air, and the iconic line, "They're gonna kill me, aren't they?" echoes through the chaos. Amidst the pandemonium, a Model A finds itself in the crossfire, riddled with bullets and abandoned amidst the turmoil. This scene is like a classic car battle royale, and it drives home the dangerous reality of Prohibition. And let's not forget about the star of the show, Al Capone himself. When we first meet him, he's rolling in a black Ford Model A, but as the film reaches its climax, Capone switches gears literally, trading in his Model A for a sleek 1930 Duesenberg Model J. It's like he's saying, "I may be cornered, but I'm still in the game." Now let's shift gears from the big screen to your garage. Imagine rolling up in a Model A with plush Armani leather seats. It's like stepping into a vintage time machine without sacrificing comfort, but it's not just about the seats. Think about the steering wheel, wrapped in supple leather, and the dashboard boasting polished chrome accents, straight out of a 1930s Gatsby party. It's like combining old-school charm with modern luxury. Speaking of luxury, what if we gave Capone's Duesenberg Model J a touch of Armani elegance? Picture this, rich mahogany replacing the worn leather, hand-stitched details, and maybe even a hint of silk on the dashboard. It's like Al Capone's wealth and power oozing through every inch of the car. As the film's producer, Armani had a vision of portraying the 1930s Chicago accurately. He collaborated with the legendary costume designer Marilyn Vance to achieve this goal. Together, they scoured vintage shops and private collectors to gather authentic pieces that breathed life into the characters and the era. Their attention to detail was impeccable, from the pinstripe suits to the fedoras. Every garment told a story. So let's talk about the cars. The Untouchables featured a variety of classic automobiles, each playing a part in transporting the audience to the heart of 1930s Chicago. Model T's Rum family sedans were driven by law-abiding citizens, while Packards and Fords were associated with the notorious gangsters like Al Capone. The film's director Brian De Palma cleverly used these vehicles to symbolize the stark contrast between right and wrong during the Prohibition era. Fast forward to the present day and the story doesn't end there. The enduring legacy of the Untouchables lives on in the world of classic car restoration. Just as the film paid homage to the 1930s, today's gearheads are breathing new life into vintage cars from that very same era. It's like a continuation of the story, keeping the spirit of the roaring 20s alive. So let's say you find a wrecked 1930 Ford Model A, a true barn find. What would you do? First things first, assess the damage. Look for frame damage, rusted bolts and any signs of neglect. Then start the cleanup process. Remove all the unnecessary stuff, sand down rough surfaces and prepare the metal for a fresh coat of paint. Next comes the fun part, choosing the right color. Will it be a classic black or a bold red? And don't forget the engine. Give it a tune-up or even a modern upgrade if you're feeling adventurous. Finally, polish those chrome pieces and add some shiny new accessories. Before you know it, you've got yourself a head-turning masterpiece worthy of Al Capone himself. By now you've seen how the Ford Model A takes center stage in the Untouchables, and I've shown you how to restore one of these beauties. But what if we could combine these two worlds? Well, guess what? It's already been done. In 2015, a filmmaker and gearhead teamed up for a unique project, restoring a 1930 Ford Model A pickup. But there's a twist. Instead of a roaring V8 engine, this pickup now boasts a silent electric motor. Yep, you heard it right. An eco-friendly classic. This duo didn't stop there. They also gave the interior a luxurious makeover with hand-stitched leather seats and walnut trim. It's like stepping back in time and cruising in style without leaving a carbon footprint behind. And get this, they even added modern conveniences like air conditioning without sacrificing the vintage charm. It's like having the best of both worlds, classic aesthetics and modern comforts. Now imagine this. You're cruising down the road in your restored Ford Model A, the wind in your hair and a smile on your face. People turn their heads as you pass by, admiring the sleek design and eco-friendly upgrades. You've successfully merged the nostalgia of the past with the sustainability of the future. But remember, behind every great restoration is a story, a piece of history brought back to life. It's not just about the cars. It's about the journey and the passion that goes into every mile. So next time you see a classic car, take a moment to appreciate the craftsmanship and the dedication that went into making it roar back to life. Giorgio Armani, a name synonymous with timeless elegance and sophistication, has left an indelible mark on the world of fashion. But did you know his influence extended to the silver screen as well? Yes, he was the man behind the iconic suits in the 1987 film The Untouchables. Let's revisit this cinematic masterpiece and explore how Armani's creations elevated the film to new heights. From the sharp tailoring to the bold color choices, each ensemble tells a story of its own, reflecting the characters, their roles, and the era in which they exist. Join us as we delve into the world of the Untouchables and discover how Giorgio Armani's costumes continue to inspire awe and admiration even today. Well, that's a wrap on our exploration of the Untouchables and the timeless appeal of classic cars. I hope you've enjoyed this unique journey through cinema, fashion, and automotive history. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join our growing community of enthusiasts. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time, keep living on the wild side of history.